Time for sound design. In this episode, I'm gonna create some playful rhythms in Ableton Live inspired by a module. So last week was Superbooth in Berlin, and I got to play with a module from Vermona, which is a German manufacturer of synthesizers and Eurorack modules. And the module I'm talking about is the Vermona randomRHYTHM module. It's a trigger sequencer for Eurorack. They had it hooked up to a drum module. I played around with it, and basically what you can do is you can set the probability of different kind of rhythms. So you had a 4th, 8th, 16 patterns. So you could easily generate interesting rhythms in a very playful way without having to put in steps. Change with the probability of the sliders to mix different sounds in different rhythmic ways, basically. So after playing with that for some time, generating some rhythm, afterwards I was thinking, what if you do something like this in Ableton, where you can create easily and playfully different rhythms without having to put anything in a step sequencer. So my aim is not to fully recreate this module in Ableton Live, but more to the inspiration that I got from it, take it to Ableton and see what I can create in Ableton that allows me to create some of this experience. Let's go to Ableton and check it out. So what I did in Ableton is I created 4 MIDI tracks, as you can see here in blue. And my idea is, so each MIDI track with the notes goes to a MIDI track with a drum rack. So here you have the kick, snare, hi-hat and percussion. And as you can see here it says MIDI in from channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4. So just play the kick channel. If you look in this clip, it has 3 kick drums, which sends it to channel 5 with the kick drum and triggers this kick drum. So the idea is now that I can change the kick sound with any other sound, and I can play different clips in order to create a rhythm. So let me demonstrate this. The quantizer is on a quarter note, so it won't change immediately, but it will change on the next quarter note. When I play the first 2 channels, the kick and snare, it sounds like this. And now I can add like a quarter note triplet hi-hat to this. And I can add the percussion, like maybe a 16th. So now by triggering different clips, you can create different rhythms. And of course, it's all synced, the change of the loop to a quarter note. You can also put it on a bar or a 16th or even a none. And then you really have to think about the timing. But the idea is just to play around with these kind of clips and then record it. So I'm going to create a new audio track, call this Resample, and then set the audio into resampling and arm it. So now I can record these variations that I create and use that as my loop. Let's try. Now going to this clip and zooming out, you see it was quite long. I'm gonna mute all the other channels and just play now the resampled loop. And now I can just, in this audio, I can use it as a sample basically and just go in and see like, okay, this is a part I like. I'm gonna play these 2 bars, for instance, or these 4 bars. Or you can go somewhere else. So you get the point. It's basically an easy way to create kind of rhythms that you maybe don't think of when you program it in a step sequencer. And of course, here I created a few variations. So here, these are 8 notes, 16th notes. I have the 8 triplet, but you can create so many variations of this. And the module that I was inspired by had 4 different rhythms, but of course in Ableton you can have as many clips as you want. So this one is with a roll in it. Yeah, you can basically go wild, and you can have, now I have 4 sounds, you can have much more sounds. And especially when you have a grid controller like the Ableton Push or like the Innovation Launchpad or anything that maps to the Ableton grid, you can easily trigger it. Now I did it with mouse, so it's not the most intuitive. So that's basically the idea for this video, an easy way to create different rhythms. And it's basically a technique that you can really extend to not just the main drum beat, but you can use only percussive sounds, or I guess you can even do it with melodic sounds if you want. That was it for this video. Just a quick idea that I had from going to Superbooth and playing around with different stuff. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and see you in the next one.